back at Business Hour, and with us is the Widus General Manager, Alfred Reyes. Hello. Okay. Let's change the format a bit, okay? Because right now, a lot of people would like to one day become general manager. Maybe let's do a format. Let's talk about a day in the life of a general manager, okay? So tell us, how does a typical day for you go?
For me, it's like, for how many years I've been doing this when I was a GM. I normally wake up at around 5 to 5:30.
So you wake up 5 to 5:30. So
first thing that I normally do is that I do jog in the morning.
Okay, exercise.
Exercise to make yourself fit.
Okay.
Then I go to the gym. I love jogging outside rather than jogging in the gym.
So where do you jog? At the parade ground?
The parade grounds.
Okay.
So normally I go to parade ground. At least I do that at least 3 to 4 times in a week.
Okay, so how many?
At least 2 rounds.
At least 2 rounds.
So minimum.
Okay, so that's a minimum of about 30 to 40 minutes, right?
I'll go to the gym for at least 30 minutes.
Okay, 30.
Then after that, I go back to my room.
Okay.
Rest for a while. We're resting. I normally open my computer. This is where I read my emails. So after reading my emails,
you have about 300 to 500 emails.
Before your department head comes to work, they know already that there are some messages for them.
Okay.
Then after that, I normally make sure that I go down between 8 to 8:30. Then I'll take my rounds of the property. So this is where you can see if there are some areas that need attention, how the staff, if there's any missing staff, because this is the time wherein people take breakfast as well.
So you physically inspect the entire area.
You have to every day.
So
because normally there's some work that are done in the evening.
Okay.
So if you do your rounds, there are some areas that need attention. So you can call the department and say that these areas was not really done properly. Maybe you can revisit this.
Okay.
And the other thing is that sometimes before I do my rounds, I still pass by the restaurant to ensure that the food is already ready for breakfast. Because guests normally go down between 7:30 to 8:30 to 9. Okay. Then the 9 o'clock, we normally have the morning briefing. This is when all the guests have already left to the work. Except for some leisure market wherein they normally eat between 8:30 to 10. Then I'll have my morning briefing with the department heads. This is where we talked about what happened yesterday, what we can do in the next 2 days. We talked about future, and as much as possible, we talk about who are the VIPs that are coming in, the preferences. Because nowadays, if you're working in a hotel, you're not just going to provide service. You have to provide an experience.
Okay.
And normally we discuss this on how we make sure that this particular guest is being taken care of.
So this happens every morning like clockwork. 9 o'clock to, how long does the meeting take?
Normally it takes about 30 to 45 minutes.
30 to 45 minutes. So
then after that, then that's the time wherein some department heads, they have some concerns that they would like to bring up. If there's more about on their own operations, this is where they normally see me. Then once I have my free time already after the department head's concern, then that's the time I go to my marketing. Because I'm now looking at, into what I've said, the e-commerce nowadays is very important. Okay. So this is now where I discuss with them all the layouts, all the things that has to be done by, we call it the SEO, the search engine optimization. Okay. We do have someone that is doing that for us. We make sure that all things are covered. All the online travel agents, in terms of bookings, how we respond to them, how we look at and deal with the next couple of months and in terms of occupancy. This is where we look at it.
Okay.
Then by lunchtime, I normally go around again in the restaurant to ensure that all the food, all the kitchen are ready for serving lunch.
This is the main contact point at that time, right?
And this is where you can say hi, hello to some customers. And before that, I still go to the convention center. Because the convention center, this is normally where you have the meetings. Yes. They will normally have their break during lunchtime. Yes. That is the only time you can talk to customers. Because you don't want to disturb them while meeting is ongoing.
So you make sure that you really get to talk to all your customers for the convention center.
As much as possible, you should be able to say
Yes,
hi,
yeah.
hello. Is there any concerns that we can help you? It's nice to see when you have a senior guy that goes around.
Okay, so that's about. So you've been at it. You got up at 5, so that's already 7 hours. Okay, so good, good, good. So
Then after that, I take my late lunch.
you late lunch. Lunch normally starts at around 2 o'clock.
At around 1:30.
1 to 1:30. Okay.
Then after 1 to 1:30, then again, you go back to the office. This is where you can already sign some of the documents that is needed.
Paperwork out of
And I also participate in hiring.
hiring.
Yes, I do have my HR, but I ensure that I look at in every talent. I'm a very hands-on person. So I make sure that in every operations, I know what's going on. I talk to them, and I ensure that I'm also talking to employees. For me, it's like talking to employees, hearing what employees, in terms of operations, in terms of needs, is to hear them out. For me, that's very, very important for a general manager.
So, okay, 2 things are coming to mind right now. Oh, well, actually 3. Number 1 is, well, you have to be on your toes early. You start the day early because, well, you have to be ready before your guests are ready. Okay, and then the other thing is you have to have an eye for details. OC, di ba?
You have to be an OC.
So every time you go to a place, you go inside a room, you already know what's not proper, what's right, what's not. So you have to have that eye for details. And the third one that's coming out right now is you got to enjoy talking to people because that's what you will be doing the whole day.
Right.
Yes.
You need to have that passion, talking to people. You have to, number one is that you have to understand why they're there. You have to understand why is it that they choose your property more than anyone else. So you need to value them. By valuing these customers of yours, you need to reach out.
Okay, so and then of course, yeah, one of the hardest thing in the service industry is managing quality. Kasi in the manufacturing, all you have to do is tweak the machine, tweak the process, and it comes out well. But here, the product, which is the service itself, is delivered through people. And, well, you know how people people are not robots. You have to make sure that they're always motivated to do the right thing.
You know how we monitor this quality service. That's normal wherein you do have guest requests.
Okay.
We're trying to be as proactive as we can.
Okay.
But there are some customers that will give you requests.
Yes.
We do have a monitoring called a 10 minutes guest service.
Okay, tell us about that.
What we normally do is that in every call of a customer, it's being logged.
Mm-hmm.
We monitor from the time you call, from the time of action.
Okay.
You should not go beyond 10.
Okay.
And before we can monitor, we do have around 60 to 100 calls a day from customers. And we sometimes go beyond the 10 minutes.
Okay.
And we put together with the department heads, we talked about the most important is software. And how we can improve in software is to make sure that when there's a guest request, it has to be attended at least within the 10 minutes time. So within 10 minutes, someone has to attend and someone has to take action. If it doesn't if you cannot deliver the 10 minutes, it will now be elevated to my level.
Okay.
And to make sure that it's really being delivered.
So you are on call 24/7 for this rule. Oh, wait, we're still around 3 o'clock. What happens after 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Then I go around to every department.
Okay, so
So this is where you can now go into engineering, you can go to security office, you can go to housekeeping. Sometimes I go to the floors. I don't do a routine wherein they know where I'm going.
Okay,
so I make sure that I go to this department.
So you mix it
changes every now and then.
Okay.
Because otherwise it becomes routinary, then they know Mr. Reyes is here.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I go from different departments every
Okay.
now and then. Then up till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I make sure that you will see me in the lobby.
Okay.
Because this is where the guest normally comes back.
So,
And some of them came from WCC, or called the convention center. Some of
Okay.
them came from casino. Some of them came from work. So this is the only time wherein you can really see the customers.
so again, visibility is vital role. So that's 5 o'clock. So does your day end at 5?
No, sometimes
No.
my days end like 7, 8 in the evening. But
Because-
even though it ends at 7, 8 in the evening, your phone is still open.
Yes, because I've noticed that you try to be within that area. Maybe if there's a function, you make yourself
Yes.
available.
Visible.
Okay, so that is a day in a life. And that was a relatively quiet day we're talking about.
Yes.
Because we did not talk about problems, we did not talk about special events that happen and all of this. Normally, do you make yourself very present when you have big functions also?
If there are functions, we make sure that number one is I will make sure that I look at it before the function starts.
Okay.
This is where you can meet engagers. Is there anything else that you need that is not being set up? Those are the important things. That's what I've said, OC is very important.
Okay, now let's talk about something a little more personal. Let's talk about how you integrate with the community. Because you're from Manila, you come here. Well, while you work, I think your definition of half day is 12 hours. Once in a while, you do have some leisure time, right?
Yes.
So how do you spend your leisure?
Well, during the daytime, we are also a member of SILA. We're also a member of HARP, wherein we do attend meetings.
So
This is where I meet some of the colleagues in the industry.
So you're part of this business groups.
Yes.
Okay.
And then through the months that I've been attending, you already have some friends.
You're also member of the chamber, right?
Yes, we are already a member of the chamber.
Yes. In fact, we do a lot of meetings in your place. Okay. So
Then there are days that I also allocate on my personal side because I'm also a sports person. So I play basketball. So I do have friends in the Chinese community wherein they're also entrepreneurs wherein you don't see them in Clark, but you see them outside Clark. So, and for me, it's like playing basketball, I thought it's just purely sports. I didn't realize until when you start meeting people, these are also potential customers.
okay, so that has worked. Okay, we're almost out of time. During the break, you were talking about this concept of, maybe to wrap this up, this concept of selling Clark, the Metro Clark image. Tell us more about this.
The way how I look at it right now, selling Clark as a destination does not require a science. The most important is we sell a destination of what do we have in Clark right now. We put all the establishments together. Like an example, Bangkok have done this, Singapore have done this. You can put all the establishment together and do a package such as sale. You can do that to attract business for both local and international market. You can attract MICE market. MICE market, you can attract the international market this time because you already have the airline. Right now, Cebu Pacific is very open, and Tiger Airways are very open. All this we call the special flights.
Okay.
And the special flights for me is like as long as it brings in the revenue for Clark, and Clark has the capacity to do that. APEC will not be here if there's no potential at all. So all we have to do is put our hands together, including the greater Clark, put a package together, then that would help.
Maybe this should be something we should pursue, and maybe we could have a program dedicated to this concept. Okay, we're out of time, and with that, we put to an end another episode of Business Hour. We hope you were with us while we were talking about Widus, and one of the major players in the tourism industry. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for believing in Clark and for continuing to be part of the family that is promoting tourism. And with that, this is Frankie Villanueva inviting our guests to learn and earn with Business Hour. Good day, ladies and gentlemen.